Welcome. This is my Big Trout Lakes backpacking catch and cook adventure with my new dog. He's a 1-year-old Australian Shepherd and his name is Ollie, and we are so glad to have you along. Looks good, Ollie. Place to put the tent right there, fire pit. Ollie likes to explore. Just wanders around smelling stuff, and after a little bit he runs back to camp. He's wondering if he needs to come back. His food is right there. I told him to sit and wait, and then once I give him the command, he goes for it, and the command is okay. About 2.5 pound tiger. Very nice. Bigger tiger. 4.5 pound tiger. And off he goes. Incredible evening fishing. I caught a 3/4 pound cutthroat. I caught a 2.5 pound tiger trout. I caught a 4.5 pound tiger trout. And I caught a 4 pound tiger trout, and I was fussing with it in my net and it flipped out of my net and got away, so I couldn't show you. Well, that's going to be it for today. Good night. Good morning. Back at it again. See if I can catch our breakfast. It's a very nice edible tiger trout. Another big one on. 3 pounds, 1 ounce. Monster tiger. My leader's like 6 pound leader, but it's like old. Oh, this is a big fish. It'll be a while. Pretty well goes where he wants to go. It's a tiger. .2 pounds. That's a hog. That was a nice fish. I'm gonna cook some fish for Ollie. Good boy sitting. Okay. Ollie's been eating plants and stuff around the lake, and it made him throw up this morning, and he threw up his whole breakfast. That's why he's getting a fish meal for lunch. Step 1 of the beer battered fish process. You cook the fish first, then you make the beer batter, because beer batter cooks really fast. This is Louisiana beer batter. I got Miller High Life for the beer. And in the oil. It is beer battered tiger trout. That's really good. Okay, it's time to enjoy. Okay. Well, Ollie and I enjoyed this campsite. This was an awesome lake. Now we're on to another high mountain lake. This is my destination. Cutthroat. Pretty good sizing. I counted 4 cutthroat right in there. There's a nice fire pit right there. And right up from there is a great place to put a tent. Other than these trees here are all dead. And 2 of them that I've calculated will land right on the spot where you'd put the tent. So, not a good place. Okay, place to build a fire, place to sit. And then right over here, the place to put our tent. No dead trees to fall on us. Everywhere around this lake is just steep. And I did find 3 other camps in the flattest area, but they're all right on the trail. I mean, like you're sitting in your camp and somebody walk right by you, be 10 feet away from you. So I'm glad we found this place to do our camping. I was just on the other side of the rock here, making myself a drink. And right up here about 30 yards, a tree came down. Scared Ollie. Rightly so.
Ollie's got to get the flies. He feels like that's his purpose. And that's how we unwind at the end of the day.
Well, what's on the agenda today is doing some catching and some cooking of fish. 1 pound, 3 ounces, cutthroat trout. Very nice cut. This is 1.5 pounds. Beautiful cut. Great fishing right here for beautiful cutthroats. I caught like 7, landed about 4, and now I'm gonna go back to camp and eat one. Now my favorite part begins, the eating of it. Quite delicious. Fish for Ollie, but Ollie is over here. He was snoozing, but he just woke up, sees what's going on, and now he's gonna enjoy it. Gulp, gulp, gulp. This is what you do after you eat some fish. One pound, 7 ounces. Look at the colors on that. The new biggest fish of the day. 1 pound, 11 ounces. Five pounds, 5 ounces. Tiger trout. Biggest fish of the trip so far. Been waiting for this one all day. That is a monster. Oh, that's what I've been waiting for. I was wondering if they were in here. Back from fishing, I'm gonna get something to eat. I'm gonna eat some peas and corn by nuts.com. So I just boil some water and let them hydrate. I drained off the water and then I put ghee and salt and pepper in there. Ollie's been all he can be. Today I'm going to backpack through the woods down to the trailhead, resupply, and go back in the mountains and find me a new lake where Ollie and I can camp and fish for big brook trout. It's time for our resupply, and then we're gonna head out back into the wild. Hey Ollie, what do you think of these actor labor laws? As long as you can get your rest in after you do your shots. This is the lake where we're gonna camp, right in those trees over there. I'm thinking there might be a place to camp. And then right over there at the end of the lake, there might be one. Well, we got to check them out. This is looking at the lake from a different angle, and there might be a camping spot right over in those trees right there. We just crossed, and it's ice cold. I'm gonna get the water out of that. Oh, Ollie, great place for a tent right here. Okay, slim pickings around this lake. This is the only spot, and I've curry combed about 7/8 of the lake. I just haven't done over here, but I'm not gonna go over there. I got a great place for our tent right here. Let's get personal. 5 days in the wilderness. These feet are ready to be cleaned. Ah, it feels good. Oh, it's ice cold, but filthy. The sweat and dirt. Doesn't smell that good either. Oh. All the incidentals are done at camp. Only thing left to do is go fishing. Brook trout, 1 pound, 8 ounces. That is a good eater right there. That's what I'm gonna do with that. Eat that tomorrow morning. Yum. Another nice brookie. Caught 3 brook trout, landed 2 of them. Kept 1 for probably a late breakfast tomorrow because I'm going to fish early. I'm going to end the day by lakeside. Good night. Good morning. I went down to the lake early this morning and I fished for about an hour and got 1 strike. So I decided to get my breakfast. I'm going to have beer battered fish this morning. Sounds good, huh? I think I cooked the last ones a little bit too much and they were a bit dry, so I'm not cooking them as long this time. Oh, fish is much better. Not cooking it as long. Brook trout is better than tiger trout. Now all that's left is just to finish them off. The fishing was great on this lake. The catching was just the 2 fish, and I can't seem to catch any more, so Ollie and I are gonna move on to another lake. I was told that there was a lake over here. It's supposed to have 3.5 pound brook trout in it. I sure hope it's here, because man, look at what we're going through to get to it. Just following the map on my GPS. GPS says it's 50 yards that direction. Holy moly. That is one sight for sore eyes. That's the lake. And the last mile has just been ungodly. Deadfall, deadfall, deadfall. There's no trail to this lake, and I knew that. Now, where can... Oh, Ollie. Ah, perfect place for a tent here. Lake's right there. We don't have to hike anymore. Oh my gosh. I am so impressed with this dog. Ollie went through deadfall. A human has a very difficult time going through it, and he was able to pull it off. Okay, look at him. Ollie loves his bed. He likes to get in the tent too. He got scratched up a little bit for back right leg, and then his pack rubs him kind of raw right here. I gotta do some adjusting on it, I think. Sunset has occurred on this remote lake, and I am so excited to be able to angle in this water tomorrow. So with that said, good night. £2 2 ounces. Beautiful brook trout. I fished from 6:30 this morning until 4:30 this afternoon. I hooked 4 and landed 1, and it was that brook trout. I filleted it, and I am going to shallow fry them. Just a tad of olive oil. Unbreaded. About 3/4 of an inch thick right there. How good it is without any seasoning, just salt. Last bite. Absolutely delicious. I'm stuffed. Ollie and I are exhausted. As you can see, he's out and all sprawled out. He's very comfortable in the tent. Well, we have a long day ahead tomorrow. More backpacking to a new Alpine lake. Good. Oh, there he goes. Bad dreams. He's a whole lot of fun. I love him dearly. Good morning. Ollie and I got up early this morning, went fishing, and I didn't get anything. These fish are very wise. In 4 different places I threw out my lure and was bringing it in on like the 3rd time in that one place, and then a fish had come up and slapped the water, letting me know that they knew I was there and they weren't going to take my lure. I've seen this before. It's really interesting. More of the same on the way up. This is it, buddy. Wow, place to put our tent right here. Can't have a campfire, so being that close to the campfire pit is not that big deal. Get the lake right behind us. What a view. Okay, well, let's get our tent up because it's gonna get dark here real quick. Check it out. There you go, buddy. Go. You're welcome. All the ashes from the campfires have been pushed outside the ring, and he just rolls around in it, and now we know where the phrase dirty as a dog comes from. What do you think of that, Ollie? Top of the morning to you. Guess what I'm going to do all day today? Nice little bow. The rainbow. Probably one of the nicest fish I've caught so far. I ended up catching 6 fish, landed 6. Biggest was probably a pound, but I don't feel like eating fish tonight. I'm exhausted, so I'm just gonna wake up in the morning and I'll do some more fishing. Good morning. This was a really nice camp. Had a bunch of garbage. Can't burn it, which sucks. So I'm packing it out. Probably a good 1.5 pounds of garbage. This lake that I fished yesterday, I've never caught anything over 2 pounds on this lake. So we're gonna go to a different lake. We are not going to be staying here or fishing that lake. That lake is a dead lake. We are going to pass by it though. This is the lake that we're looking for. Places to sit. Tent right there. This is my Anchor power pack. I have 2 of these. This is my Anchor 20 amp solar panel. Comes with 2 ports. Only use 1 port at a time to charge these power packs. There it is, operational. That'll be charged by the end of the day. Pretty cool, huh? £1 pound, 12 ounce splake on an HD trout lure, brown trout, the big one. That's a nice fish, and that's gonna make for a nice meal. Zatarain's fish fry, crisp southern. Let's say they are ready to come out. Next to go in is Slap Ya Mama seasoning, it's spicy, and panko breadcrumbs. Next is Cavender's Greek seasoning and panko breadcrumbs. The last dredge for tonight is Zatarain's blackening seasoning with panko breadcrumbs. This is Slap Ya Mama and panko breadcrumbs. I can taste the heat. Very good. Next is Zatarain's and panko breadcrumbs. I need a little bit more Zatarain seasoning than that panko breadcrumbs. But very good. This is the Cavender's Greek seasoning. That'll work. This is the last bite. And this is the Zatarain's fish fry crisp southern. And all of them tonight that I've had, I like this one the best. It's kind of plain, but you put a little salt on it, and it just does splake really good. He's trying to stay awake. There he goes. Good morning, another day in a fisherman's life. Blake this morning. It's a nice fish. Not my biggest. This has got to be about a 2 pounder. That's a big one. Beautiful splake. This will be the end of an okay day of fishing. I did catch a 2 pounder, which is a really good day in and of itself, but for fishing a large portion of the day to only catch 5 fish, the other biggest one was probably 3/4 of a pound. Well, that's going to be it for today. Good night. What beautiful 4K scenery to wake up to. And then to catch 2 more fish first thing this morning. That makes for a total of 8 fish on this lake. Time for Ollie and I to move on to a new righteous lake. We're going to be camping somewhere around this lake. I got a fresh water spring-fed creek that runs right here with ice cold water. Yes. The mosquitoes and the little black gnats were just driving Ollie crazy. So he had to get in the tent. Found this stick and I just laid it on a branch here, and a branch here. Voila! Whoa! Smacked me in the face. It's chunky. Perfect one for eating though. £2, 6 ounces. Lunker. I'm gonna cook half the fish in Zatarain's fish fry crisp southern. The other half I'm gonna do slap ya mama panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to try the crispy southern first. I really like that one. Slap your mama. Need a little more panko in there. It's a little too salty. But I could really use the salt. Excellent. Cavender's Greek seasoning and panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to cook these twice because they're a little too thick. They won't be done on the inside. Now that the potatoes have cooled a bit, I'm going to put them back in the Cavender's dredge and recoat them. Now it's time to taste test these potato chips. That Cavender's and panko. Wow. I've said it before and I'll say it again. They taste like candy. Well, once Ollie and I had supper, it started to rain, so we just came in the tent. But it's starting to get dark, so we're decided to just stay in the tent and we're gonna say goodnight. I got about 5 casts in before it really started coming down. His bed is wet because he got wet running through the bushes. According to the weather, it's supposed to clear up in about an hour. We'll find out. What a difference a few hours can make. 2 hours ago it was hailing. Though he be small, he be mighty. He was a fighter. Interesting development. Smoke from a forest fire. I don't see like any flumes or anything, but there's definitely a forest fire going on somewhere. Put in from my inReach to my wife to check on the internet. Gotta be a couple pounds. Pretty close. Nicest fish of the day. 2 nice ones in a row. This one's big, but boy, they're acrobatic. My wife got a hold of me, and the forest fire is southwest of where I'm at. Oh, quite a ways. But this is going to be my last cast for the night. It was a fantastic day of fishing. Probably caught about 20 plus fish. The biggest 2 actually were the last 2 of the night. With that said, good night. Good morning. Today's plan is there's a little big trout lake right up here, and I'm going to go up there and fish that this morning. Right. As it hit the water. Three-quarter pound brook trout. This is a 2-pound, 2-ounce tiger. Probably just gonna be a shadow. But it's got red eyes. It's a cool fish. You can see that tiger trout right there. I'll finish fishing on this beautiful little lake. I ended up catching 4 fish. Well, back to camp. We're all packed up, as you can see, and we're gonna head on down to the trailhead. Before I conclude this video, I want to share with you a few of my thoughts. The best backpacking day was the day we were hiking along the lakeside, where we encountered boulder fields as we went around, and the scenery was quite beautiful. The top lakes for big trout were the first one and the second to last one. In the first one, I caught more big fish than any other lake, and the second to last lake was for its fast fishing. I did also catch some bigger fish in that one as well. The epitome of this 14-day adventure has been spending it with my blue-eyed dog, Ollie. What fun! And what an incredible display of the vigor of youth. This breed has an incredible protective instinct. For example, let's say we're hiking on the trail and I give out a sigh of exhaustion. He'll come running back to comfort me. What's even more comforting is his ability to see and hear things I can't, and his willingness to watch out intently while I do a myriad of things. What a special companion. And finally, I want to thank you for coming along with me and Ollie. So, until next time.